Let's take a look at the poll question today. This Tennessee team is, and you tell us, 7% of you have already been online and said playoff bound. 40% of you say better than I thought. Ooh, the biggest winner right now. 53% of you say they've been lucky so far. None of you say worse than I thought, so that's good. But the majority think they've been lucky so far. Take your smartphone, point it at that QR code right under the Hearthside Bank logo. Play along with us. I always like knowing what you think, and it often surprises me. But go ahead, click that. It'll also take you to our website. You can get there if you need to. If you don't want to use the smartphone, do the QR code. Go to sportsource.tv/polls. And if that's too long for you, type ssdn.tv. Polls. You'll get there. Thanks for playing along with us. I want to see those things move a little bit. And they already have. Lucky so far has dropped. Okay.
Good.
Tennessee's pass defense ranked dead last in the conference coming into yesterday's game. But they've also had their two top corners out. So that you understand that. The rush defense has had issues setting the edge all year, but only Georgia had averaged more than 3 yards a carry against them. Yesterday, State ran for 3.5, and we're counting sack yards and everything else. The NCAA needs to change that. But State ran for 3.5 yards a carry yesterday and a whopping 198, and they pretty much controlled the thing on the ground when they needed to. And that was with Jackson Moye coming back. Now, he didn't play a ton of snaps, but still, if you were looking for a bounce there, you didn't get it in game one. What's your biggest concern? I'll start with Marlon over here. Run defense or pass defense moving forward?
Run defense. Run defense. I think run defense, as we saw yesterday, sets the tone for the offense. It allows other things to get going. Yep. When I can run the football, I can play action pass. Thurl can tell you about that. And then now you're making your corners where we're young at or we're inexperienced at.
And you can also eat clock if you need to, if you get a lead up. Yeah.
That's it. And so you're putting those guys on the island. Again, that play action is tough, but when you're shutting down the run, you now can focus more on your back end. I think right now I'm more concerned about the run defense.
Daniel.
Yeah, just to answer the question, I would say run defense, but I don't think it's that big of an issue. There's two techniques of how you play defensive line. One where you're building the wall, one where you're going for penetration. This Tennessee team loves their penetration, which is what's really helping you on your sacks, your tackle for loss, and all those type of things. And just like you said, we're getting defenders back to help in the secondary. I don't think this is a critical mode with either one of those right now, because I think Tennessee wants to incentivize tackle for loss sacks over 3.3 yards a carry versus 2.7.
All right, I'll get you want to jump in?
I don't want to go back and forth with him on this one.
No, you guys bicker a lot.
Yeah,
so
we do.
I'll tell you what, we'll get back to the bickering. No, do the bickering now, and I'll get to you guys.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
So here's what I would say. When you're focused on, as a defensive line, on more penetration, as you saw yesterday, you better get there. This is what we was told as a defensive line guy. If you're going to penetrate and you're kind of like not setting your stone, I'm doing my deal as far as sitting that wall, you better make sure you get there. Because if you don't get there, now your second guy who's going to make that tackle is probably your secondary if your linebackers are covered up. That's the other thing about penetration as a defensive line. That allow your tackle to bypass you, go up and get hands on the linebacker, and now we see this team has been led in tackles by a secondary. So that means they're getting them down the field.
How many games did we win versus how many have they won?
All right, okay. Go ahead, John.
Boom! we do a show on Monday nights that airs Tuesday on the Sports Source Digital Network. Ollie and I are in that show too, but we basically just sit back and watch these two bicker. We'll show you a clip of that a little later.
I knew once you put them next to me, it was on.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Sterling, Chuck, more concerned about run defense, pass defense, or are you not concerned at all? You like Daniel, you think it's all right?
Well, with me, I'm more concerned with the pass defense because, right now it's a pass-happy league. It's a pass-happy time in football. So I would like to see that tighten up a little bit. I think we will. We got some young guys out there playing, get some quality reps right now. We're going to get some vets back, and this is a perfect time for an off week for me because now we get our guys back, get our guys healthy, and, with that pass rush and that penetration that they talked about, maybe we get more sacks and the least on the pass yard.
At this point, it'll be interesting to see. The last I heard was Jermod McCoy may be back for Alabama. So that would be after Arkansas. Devin Hobbs may be back for Arkansas. But in turn, we'll see. I don't know what Jermod McCoy is going to look like when he comes back.
Right.
But you're always going to be one man down in the secondary. So that's because I don't think Ricky Gibson's going to be back. That's just my take. Chuck, run defense, pass defense, or you're not worried about it?
Kicking game.
Yes.
No, I mean, I
shanked
guess
that one.
yeah, I guess I'm a little old-fashioned, John. I still think the SEC in a lot of cases is a line of scrimmage league, and I think you got to run the ball and stop the run. I go back to the start of the second half against Georgia. What did they do? They turned it over to the run. That's one of the most demoralizing things in football, guys, if you can't stop the run. And then you look, even Syracuse, maybe, I don't know if it's the power back, third quarter.
Theirs was late. I mean,
Right.
they average like 2 yards a carry, but they're late.
Right,
They really hit
it
the short
seems
yardage.
like it's a power back, and everybody may not have that 230-pound back. Maybe that's what some of the missed tackles are, but I think it's the run defense. Because you get ahead of the chains, and it seems like around the left side of their offense, there's yards to be made there. And then how many times they get it down, not just in the red zone, close to the goal line, they run it right up the middle.
Two things we've seen against Georgia and Mississippi State was arm tackling, and maybe that's getting tired. Okay,
Right.
maybe that's it. But there was arm tackling against Georgia as well.
Yep.
And then setting the edge. Overstreet's been pounding that
Yep.
the entire year. So which of those, are you concerned about either of those things, Daniel? Setting the edge or the arm tackling?
Arm tackling was pretty bad. Yeah, that's more concerning there for me because this team loves to get penetration. If you stop Mississippi State for 100 yards less on rushing, you still lose that football game. What won you the game was you had 2 plays on defense that scored you touchdowns: the sack fumble, the interception from Colton Hood, both of which came from penetration and pressure.
Yes. And that's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I'm concerned more about the passing game, because we get that penetration, the pressure on the quarterback. That makes errant passes all the time. And we can get more picks.
And the only thing I say too is, like, even the Georgia game, you win that game if you make the kick, no matter that Georgia ran it down your throat in the third quarter.
Thank you.
True, but if you're looking at it,
Yeah.
you could say that with any coaching staff.
Yeah.
Go, well, we won, so we're not going to work
Yeah.
on anything this week.
Well, no.
Here's what I will argue on that, and I'm gonna put it to bed. When you don't have defensive line depth the way we don't have right now, you cannot play a penetration style defense, and then after you there's a big drop off, or you pretty much you got nobody coming in for you like we had with Dominic Bailey and Bryson Eason. You've got to be able to create that wall. Let's stop the run, because, again, that's demoralizing. It keeps the drives going. It keeps you behind the chains. It makes third down a lot easier when a guy's rushing
Wears
forward.
down the defense, too.
Right.
But your
exactly.
depth on the defensive line is in pass rushers. These
And
guys
then-
are really good at pass rushing, and that's what you want to take advantage
But when you
of.
run the ball, it opens up play action. Let's don't forget about
you
that.
need to
This
mention that, yeah.
defense is better at rushing the passer than they are stopping the run. True or
Absolutely.
false?
Absolutely.
Here's a concern. Let me ask you. This would worry me a little bit. I said last week, I don't know. Let's see what's up with the defense. I'm not going to be out of it yet. After yesterday, I'm a little bit more concerned. but here's the thing. You've had Syracuse, pretty good offense, okay. UAB and East Tennessee State. You've played 2 of your 3 jokes. Now it's going to be SEC teams the rest of the way. So if your secondary hasn't been spectacular so far, if your run defense has shown issues so far, my fear is, what's it going to look like when you play 4 straight SEC games? As opposed to, okay, thank goodness, now let's drop in another East Oxnard Tech.
But can I quantify that, John? That's a great point. Great point.
Quantification.
Awesome. But we won the game, and every great defense that's out there allegedly in the SEC are getting big points scored on them. Georgia had a lot of points scored on them. They lost the game. We had our defense.
24.
It's more for them. They lost the game.
Well, last year,
And then, let me finish. So then the deal is this. Here's the deal. Our defense scored. Our defense twice. So
Yeah.
it's concern, but it's
Yes.
playmakers making plays to win the game.
Well, look, there are other. If you want to just sit here and say we won,
No,
do
no, I don't
60
wanna say
minutes
that.
of we.
No,
There are other channels.
No.
We don't do that.
No,
We don't do that.
understand
Plenty of
that,
shows
John
do
P.
the we.
I'm riding with you. I'm riding with you, John P.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is
You're quantifying.
I'm quantifying the fact that our style made points yesterday. Let's not discount that.
Good.